Imagine for a moment a time before recorded history, before nations as we know them. Picture a sun-scorched valley in ancient Greece, where for one sacred month all wars would cease. Here, in the shadow of Mount Olympus, men who were soldiers, farmers and philosophers would strip down to their rawest form, their bodies glistening with olive oil, to compete not for money, but for a simple olive wreath and immortal glory. They were seen as mortals touching the divine, their contests a tribute to the gods themselves. This was Olympia, a brutal, beautiful and sacred spectacle in a stadium filled with 40,000 screaming fans. Now, let's fast forward 2 millennia. The dust of Olympia has long settled, the temples are in ruins. But the idea, that powerful unifying flame, was rekindled by a determined French aristocrat who dreamt of a better world through sport. From these idealistic ashes rose the modern Olympic Games, a spectacle that would grow to eclipse its ancient predecessor in every conceivable way. It became a global stage for humanity's most extraordinary stories. It's a stage where a black sharecropper's son single-handedly humiliated the hateful ideology of the Nazis in their own capital. A stage where a band of college kids on a frozen lake in upstate New York performed a miracle on ice, toppling an invincible Soviet empire and giving a nation hope during the Cold War. But this stage is also a cautionary tale. It's a story of cities, like Montreal, left bankrupted for decades, haunted by the ghosts of empty stadiums built for 2 weeks of glory. So, what if the Olympics aren't just games? What if they are the most complex, contradictory and compelling drama our species has ever produced? A 4-year cycle of breathtaking triumph and heartbreaking tragedy, of political chess matches played on a running track, and of quiet revolutions sparked by a single perfect performance. This is a story of heroes and villains, of miracles and scandals, of fortunes made and nations shamed. Over the next hour, we will unravel the epic saga of the Olympic Games. And I promise you, the twists and turns of this story will shock you. It all ignited in the sun-drenched plains of Olympia in 776 BCE. But these were never merely games. They were a sacred festival, a quadrennial pilgrimage of muscle, will and devotion, all offered to Zeus, the king of the gods. Imagine the scene, the air thick with the scent of olive groves and sacrificial smoke. For a precious, fleeting period, a sacred truce, would halt the endless squabbles of the Greek city-states. Messengers would travel the land, declaring a ceasefire, allowing athletes, artists and pilgrims to journey to Olympia in safety. It was a radical idea that for the love of sport, even war must wait. The events themselves were a raw test of human capability. The sprint, a frantic dash across the length of the stadium. Wrestling, a grueling contest of leverage and strength. And the brutal, a no-holds-barred combat sport where only biting and eye-gouging were forbidden. The ultimate prize? Not gold, but a simple wreath cut from a sacred olive tree. Yet that crown conferred immortal glory, a hero's welcome, and a lifetime of honor. For over a millennium, this pulse beat at the heart of the ancient world, until the Roman Emperor Theodosius I, in his Christian zeal, extinguished the pagan flame in 393 AD. The stadiums crumbled, the tradition buried under 1,500 years of dust. It lay dormant until a French aristocrat with a fervent belief in the power of sport, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, dreamt of its resurrection. He saw in the disciplined athleticism of the English public schools a model for building character and, on a grander scale, a tool for fostering international peace. After years of tireless advocacy, his vision became reality. In 1896, Athens, the cradle of Western civilization, hosted the first modern Olympic Games. And in that revival, a new legend was born. The marathon, an event created for the modern games to commemorate the fabled run of Pheidippides, saw a humble Greek water carrier named Spiridon Louis become its first champion. As he entered the gleaming, marble-clad Panathenaic Stadium, a nation roared. He wasn't just a victor. He was a living link to an ancient, heroic past, and the embodiment of Coubertin's dream. The Olympic spirit, it seemed, was truly reborn. But what of winter? The Games were a summer affair until the crisp air of Chamonix, France in 1924 hosted an International Winter Sports Week. The success was undeniable. The grace of figure skating, the thrill of speed skating, the raw speed of bobsleigh and the rugged endurance of cross-country skiing captivated the world. 16 nations were hooked, and the Winter Olympics were officially born, a frosty counterpart to the sun-drenched summer spectacle. It gave us legends of its own, like the dazzling Norwegian figure skater Sonja Henie, who pirouetted her way into the history books, dancing to 3 consecutive gold medals and transforming the sport into a theatrical art form. Yet, as the Games grew, so did the shadows. The Olympic stage became an irresistible platform for political theatre. Feel the pulse of 1936 Berlin. The Games were designed by Adolf Hitler as a showcase for his repugnant theories of Aryan supremacy. But a sharecropper's son from Alabama, Jesse Owens, had other ideas. With breathtaking grace and speed, he soared and sprinted his way to 4 gold medals, single-handedly crushing Hitler's hateful myth before the eyes of the world. Each victory was a powerful, silent rebuke, a testament to the fact that character and talent know no race. The Games were meant to unite, but the deep divisions of the Cold War would soon rip them apart. The tension builds, reaching a breaking point in 1980. In response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, the United States led a massive boycott of the Moscow Games, robbing a generation of athletes of their Olympic moment. The wound was deep, and retribution was inevitable. 4 years later, the Soviets and their Eastern Bloc allies returned the favor, bolting from the 1984 Games in Los Angeles. The Olympic flame still burned, but the ideal of global unity was flickering, caught in the crossfire of superpower politics. The empty seats and absent flags were a stark reminder that even in the arena of sport, the world's conflicts could not be escaped. Scandals explode. Ben Johnson's 1988 doping disgrace. Symbols like the 5 rings unite continents, or do they mock them? Host cities? Montreal 1976 drowned in 30-year debt. And that 1960 hockey upset foreshadowed the miracle on ice. Glory hides the grind. And so the flame is extinguished once more. The stadiums fall silent and the world's gaze turns away. But what are we left with? The Olympic Games, in their sprawling, magnificent and often maddening complexity, have always been a mirror held up to ourselves. They reflect our highest ideals of unity and excellence, the dream of a world bound not by borders, but by a shared pursuit of greatness. We see it in the ghost of Spiridon Louis running into that first modern stadium, in the defiant grace of Jesse Owens on a hostile stage, and in the perfect, impossible 10 of a young Nadia Comaneci. Yet the reflection is not always flattering. The mirror also shows our fractures. It reveals the shadow of politics that has so often crept onto the track, the spectre of boycotts and the unbearable weight of tragedy, as in Munich in 1972. It shows us the arms race of performance enhancement, a constant battle between innovation and integrity. For every story of triumph, there is a counter-narrative of tension, of controversy, of dreams deferred or denied by a fraction of a second or a questionable judge's score. From the sacred truce of ancient Olympia to the billion-dollar spectacle of today, the games have evolved. Pierre de Coubertin envisioned a revival of spirit, a celebration of amateurism. Today, we debate the very definition of fairness, from gender eligibility to the economic justice for the athletes themselves. We question the staggering costs, the sustainability of building monuments for a 2-week festival, and the human rights records of host nations. But through it all, the fundamental power of the Games endures. It is the power of a single story to inspire millions. The power of a Simone Biles or a Usain Bolt to transcend their sport and become a global icon. It is the power of the human spirit, pushing against the limits of what we believe is possible. Every 4 years, the flame is lit, carrying with it our collective power, our national pride, our hopes for progress, and the ever-present peril of our own human failings. The story is never truly over. So, as we look back on this incredible tapestry of hidden histories, we turn the question to you. What's your favourite Olympic shock, triumph, or controversy? Comment below, like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. History's calling. Thank you for watching Learning Life content. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Your support helps us grow and motivates us to bring you more fascinating and enriching stories.